This is a tutorial on cost heads, how to view, edit, delete and create cost heads. View, edit, delete are simple things. Creating them means that you need to understand the structure and how things happen. So we're going to go into the simple things first. We're going to view, edit and delete a cost head. So to do that we just need to log into Red Sky, select Finance, Contracts Ledger, Ledger Maintenance and then Cost Head Library Maintenance. So into Red Sky, we've logged in. We go into Finance, Contracts Ledger, Ledger Maintenance, Cost Head Library Maintenance. There's our cost heads. Quite simply, if you want to edit one, we select it, we click Edit. We can change these fields here. And Create opens up the same box, but just it's empty. And then Delete is just, we would click it and then delete. But we're not going to do that. Now, we need to look at the structure of cost heads so that we can create them. We need to understand them before we create them. Now a cost head needs 9 characters. There's a max of 4 levels per cost head. We've got a group head 1 field which contains information for alternative analysis, like whether that cost head is for a material item or a subcontractor or a labour. There's 4 levels of groups and they're structured into 3 characters, 2 characters, 2 characters and 2 characters. There's 9 characters in total. You can only post against cost heads that have 9 characters in total. Even if we don't need all 4 levels, we still need to bulk out a simple 1, 2 or 3 level cost head to 9 characters. So we have a nominal ledger code for the accounts package as well. That's in this case 103 is for material, 104 is for subcontract. And we need to individually add cost heads to all 3 companies before any materials can be added. And this happens in every case, whether you think those materials don't need to be in the other company or not is irrelevant. You'll mess up the databases for the other companies if you try to put materials into a company that the cost head doesn't exist in. And once you try to input materials into the package, they will be put into all 3 companies. So it's not a case of putting into one package and then going back and putting into another. It happens across all 3 companies. So we're going to have a quick look at what I've just said here in Red Sky, and then I'm going to look up the build up here of a couple of examples of how we do that. But when I go into Red Sky, I see here that this here is the group head 1 that we spoke about with material and subcontract. You'll also see labour and SQE and prelims down here. If you move down through the list, we can see here that we have labour and we have material and we have various different subheadings in here. So if we look at this one here, we see that this here is a 3 level cost head. So to get to the stage where I wanted to put in a cost head for access control, just simple access control, which is here, E, AC, CA, XX, XX. Now what that means is that that's 9 characters. I can post against that. That's why it says quantity recorded here and has material, and it has a nominal ledger corresponding code for material that will tie into the accounts package. Now to do this I had to add this, then I had to add this one and this one. So I had to put 4 things in. So for a high level cost head, if you want to add it in from scratch, you have to put it in 4 cost heads into company 1, go into company 2, put them into company 2, go into company 3, put them in. That's 12 entries. Now most of your cost heads should either be already in the package, or else you'll just be adding a different level. If you already have level 1 and level 2 and level 3 and you just wanted to have, as well as access control general, you wanted to have access control wireless, for example, you could have EAC, and instead of AA you'd have EAC AW for access control wireless XXXX, and you could fill it out like that. Now to go through the structure here, here's an example. A 1 level cost head for say materials, even though we only want 1 overall level, it would end up looking like MAT, XX, 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 and that's built up by making a cost head for MAT, putting in another cost head for MAT, XX, putting in another cost head for MAT, XX, XX, and a final cost head of MAT, XX, XX, which means that I will have in effect the following. in the package. I'm doing this way because I don't want to end up messing up the cost heads, because cost heads are quite important. So that's how that was built up, and you can see there that this here was 2, 2 and 2. So I'm going to put that back to XX, because they're what was added every time in the build up, and it sums up to MATXXXX. Here's one for 4-level cost head, which will be labor. The next 2 digits are OF, which is office. Then we have AD for administration and DC for document control. So we have our usable cost head then that we can post against is LAB, OF, AD, DC, which is 9 characters. There's a couple of important notes here we mentioned already again, which is make sure the cost heads are in there before you put materials in there as a key point. So that's cost heads, how to build them up, how to make them, how to view them, how to create them. If you go into the package and you can't do this, it means that your permissions are set up that you can't create cost heads, because they're quite important. You may need to move on to either level 9 or 10, and you can call into Darren and he can approve that, because Darren, as the financial controller, is in control of who has access to the cost heads.